Hello, I hope you're doing well. This is my August planners and journals update. Very quickly, I want to mention that over the next, I actually don't know how long, maybe, well, hopefully few weeks, but possibly few months, I might miss a Sunday upload here and there. I will talk a little more about it later, but long story short, I'm dealing with some health issues that is impeding my overall life. Anyways, let's go over the journals for this video. I'm gonna start with my reading journal as usual. I had a pretty decent reading month. I finished one book, although I think I gave it 2 stars. So it wasn't a very good finished book, in my opinion. And then I started a new book, which I haven't started a page for yet. And I'm also simultaneously reading 4 other books, so it's kind of a mess, but that's okay. So one of the books that I'm currently reading is the Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa. Let me zoom you in a little bit. I think I've already talked about this, but it's quite a lengthy book, but each of the chapters are very, very short. So you can see this chapter is just 4 pages on my Kobo. This one's just 2 pages, and it's usually like that. I think the longest chapter that I've read in this book is like 5 pages of my Kobo e-reader. Most of the other chapters are just 1 or 2 pages, so it's very easy to read very quickly. Like if you just have 5 minutes to read and then put it down, and then you can pick it back up whenever you want. The chapters aren't interconnected. Well, I guess they are in some way, but it's not like a continuous story. So anyways, long story short, I have been reading this book for many months, and that is part of the reason why. But I made pretty significant progress in August. I've been really enjoying this, so yeah. I started by using the Forgotten Iced Coffee ink, and then the rest of this is written with Coffee Monster. My voice is a bit hoarse because I cried this morning. I'm sorry, this video is going to be very negative. I have been trying to not complain so much, and I think getting to the habit of complaining all the time, it further adds to the negativity in your life. Also online, I think it's kind of tiring to hear people complain all the time. So I've been trying to be conscious of that, but I think this is going to be a rather negative video, and I do apologize. I'm still reading The Origins of Totalitarianism. Always have a hard time saying that word. I also said this in July, but this is a rather dense read, so I need to read very slowly, and I tend to reread the same paragraph over and over again to kind of parse what the author's saying. I think I did read a few pages in August. And then, okay, so this is upside down. I finished the book The Alchemist, and this is the book that I give 2 stars. Typically, this is where I write down when I finish the book, so I will have to double check that. I am not gonna rant about The Alchemist. I don't think anybody really cares. And also, I hesitate to do so because I do know that The Alchemist is loved by some people, and it can be inspiring for some people, and I don't want to like dog on that, you know? Just for me personally, I didn't really enjoy the book, hence why this page wasn't enough, and I started ranting onto the previous page. And this space was initially left for origins of the origins of totalitarianism. So I wrote this upside down so that it wouldn't like clash. I am still reading The Worldly Philosophers. I don't know when this much happened, and it's kind of bothering me. That's okay. That is my ridiculous drawing of Adam Smith, and yes, I made a little bit of progress in this book. And then the book that I started, but I haven't made a page for just yet, is 3 Men on a Boat. I don't really remember the title, so I'll put it on the screen. But so far, I'm loving it. It is hilarious. Very rarely do books make me actually laugh, and this book has made me laugh a few times. So that was my reading journal, and then I have my Commonplace journal, which you might notice a new friend over here. This is a yellow Lamy Safari in a medium nib. Before you judge me, I did not purchase this. Okay, so if you hear that buzzing sound, that is my mini fridge, and I will talk more about that later. I do apologize about that sound. This was gifted to me by a friend, and currently I just have the default blue cartridge that comes with the Lamy inside because I don't have a spare converter. I will probably have to buy one at some point. I actually really like the default Lamy blue, and I'll show you some writing samples. Oh, there we go. But yeah, anyways, I think I left off here. So last time I started some notes about tinned sardines, and then I finished off a few notes over here. This messy chunk is my thoughts about artificial intelligence and comfort. I am a bit self-conscious displaying this on the screen because I actually don't know much about AI and tech stuff, but I guess I was just I had something on my mind. I don't know. Customers with access to loans spend 20%. These were notes from an article that I read from The Economist, and I will have to go back and find the article because I don't remember the title. And it was about buy now, pay later systems like Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, and I honestly don't really remember. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry, I'm all over the place. So I started writing notes about the buy now, pay later article, and then I guess I didn't finish. I started reading another article, which I wrote notes for, and then I continued the buy now, pay later article over here. So that is why the colors are kind of matching like this. This interlude article is called The Pain of Perfectionism, and this was from The New Yorker. This is continuing the buy now, pay later article, so that is why it's dark red. And then this was written with my Lamy medium and the default blue ink. Recently, I got back into reading Naive Set Theory. I have it right here. Oh, actually matches. And this is just like a very rudimentary math book. So if you study mathematics, this probably looks like child's play, but I'm not a mathematician, so yeah, I'm just trying to refresh my memory on some core concepts. Yeah, so that is everything for my Commonplace journal. I think I'm getting to a really good groove of things. I am on page 63, and this notebook has 219 pages, so I'm actually nowhere near finished. I thought I would be like halfway or something. So usually I would show my Hobonichi Weeks at this point, but I'm actually going to show my Hobonichi Cousin first to give a little bit more context about what I've been dealing with, and it'll kind of relate to my Hobonichi Weeks. So starting with the monthly section, this is August. I don't believe I have added anything since I planned this, and I definitely have a lot of things to add. So yeah, maybe I will show you an update when I do my September planner update, which I'm really excited. I am so excited for autumn colors and the chilly weather. Oh, and tomorrow is Luca's birthday. He is turning 2. I can't believe it. I love that little guy so much. Where is August? I suppose I should use the tabs that I designed and put in this planner for its intended purpose. This is part July, part August, and I'm using the primary kit collection that I released for the birthday sale. I really like how bright this is. And then this was my birthday week, so I used the Birthday Bash 2.0 washi tape. And the colors match the previous week, so it doesn't look too different. I didn't think too much of it at the time, but I actually really like how these day numbers look over here. The 9th was when we had the birthday sale, and I was basically doing emails all day, except I took a break to do some design work at a cafe, which I suppose is still work, but to me, it's something that I love, so it was a nice break from emails. This was a fun week, although not so much on Friday. I'm using the Emojis in British Columbia washi over here. I think it is so pretty. There's foil on it as well. And I used this because I went on a hike. We did the Kennedy Falls hike, and this was my first legitimate hike. Like, I've done the Grouse Grind, but I don't think people consider that a hike. So yeah, this was really fun, and I thought this would be the perfect washi for it. So starting on Friday, although I did notice some abnormal things on Thursday, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. Starting on Friday, I had little red itchy bumps appear on my wrists and my legs, which is why I have been wearing long sleeves whenever I film videos, just so that you don't see all of the red down my arms. And as I'm kind of alluding to here, it has lasted until today, and I don't know when it's going away. So that is that. Saturday I tried banh mi for the first time, which was really, really good. And then I had another one since then because it was so good. Really had to lock in to do some design work. And then this is the mess of last week. I'm using the Down Days washi, second version. So the allergy, rash, hives, whatever, it has gotten steadily worse every single day. I stopped going to the gym and running last Thursday, and I haven't exercised since then, just in case it's inflaming the rash further. And yeah, I have been trying to take things slow with work, but it's very hard to do so when there's a tariff situation going on, and there's only so much I can cut back on in regards to work, because I do have responsibilities, and I guess that's just a reality of being an adult. And on top of that, in the height of my itchiness and the spread of my rash, my refrigerator broke on Wednesday. Everything in the freezer was thawed, and I had to throw some stuff away. Some stuff that I thought were okay, I brought to my parents' house. And yeah, the fridge is still broken, which is why I have a mini fridge, and that was the humming sound that you might hear intermittently. So there's that. And then my mental health was just not great, because exercise is a way for me to release a lot of anxious energy. It is also kind of the 1 to 2 hours every morning that I truly get to myself, unplugged from work and all of that. So yeah, that is part of the reason why I've been a bit down. And then, as you can see, some lapses in my memory, sad, itchy, and sluggish all the way through Saturday and Sunday. I guess I was just doing whatever I could, so I didn't bother scheduling anything. And then this was my recap of basically this mess of a week. And I wrote, this is my last straw, because my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen was drying out, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is like the last thing I'm doing for this crappy week, and my brush pen decided to die out. Wonderful. Again, I know this is a really negative video, but it has been so bad that I can't put on a positive front at this moment. Anyways, this current week, it's a lot brighter, and I think it's a lot more fun. This is a sticker set from, I don't remember where, but this was gifted to me by one of my customers. Her name is Sue, and she gifted to me when I was in Los Angeles. And this is like Korean food, I believe. Again, I have not been working out, just in case that makes things worse. So yeah. Here I put down a sticky note, possibly leaving for San Francisco. I have decided to go. I will talk more about that when I go over the daily peaches. I had sushi for dinner on this day, and this is a chalkboard washi, one of my favorites now. This is from the Q3 subscription, which is like a STEM theme, science, tech, engineering math. And if you are able to make out the words throughout the rule, the notes should actually make sense. I had a lot of fun designing this one. And yes, towards the beginning of August, I was struggling because I had another leg injury from running. So yeah, August has been just interesting. Let's say that. I really like these alphabet clipping stickers. This was a freebie given out during the birthday sale, but I do want to reformat it so that the frequency of letters make a little bit more sense, because you would use like vowels more, you know. This is a stamp from the birthday sale. It just says, "You are doing great." I accidentally chipped a few bowls and broke one, so I got some new ones on this day. Lots of work, evidently. This was my birthday. I didn't bake the cake on this day, but I was like trying to decide which cake I wanted to bake. And I do recommend this recipe, French almond cake. It's a very interesting flavor. On the 7th, I was struggling a bit again, so I kind of did this, I hope you ... and each one is a thing. I feel like that made no sense. So as an example, I hope you, and the first one is, I hope you believe that you can still make a beautiful life for yourself, even if you lost many years of it to grief or darkness or a wound that wouldn't close. And then just keeps going on. So this was something that I needed on this day. On Friday, I received some washi samples. I believe 9 of the designs. Yeah, I swatched the 9th one over here, and then for some reason I wasn't sent the other 3. So I really don't like writing in skinny columns, since some words are like so long that it doesn't fit in the skinny column. So I decided to write it landscape wise. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was going so rogue with these few spreads. The justification for this day was that this was the birthday sale, so I was basically doing emails all day and I didn't really have a defined to-do list. So yeah, I was just doing a check-in in the morning, in the afternoon after the sale, a few notable things. I don't know why I went for an orange and gray theme. It's like the fuggliest color combination, but I felt like doing that. What happened here? Oh right, so I was supposed to go on the hike on Monday, but it got rescheduled to Saturday. So I was a little bit upset because I was really looking forward to that. Not really upset, more so disappointed. But then on the bright side, I could focus on more design stuff and relax a little bit, especially after the sale. I was overwhelmed again. I don't know why I'm going so rogue with these layouts. I had a long paragraph going between the 2 pages. I had my jet pens haul come in, so I did a video on that already. My back was hurting, hence this doodle, and then a to-do list. Oh, I do want to mention, so I showed this in my jet pens haul video, and I have used it a few times since then, and I had a lot of people asking me for an update. Out of 5 stars, I would say I give this a 3.85. It does work really well with the ribbing and stuff, and it is sticky. Even if it's been sitting out here, it still maintains the stickiness. Although it's not like super sticky, so you might want to use some other tape runner or maybe like a washi tape to really stick it down. I also find it just like really fun in general to like add bits of paper here and there. I am deducting some points because the sticky note paper itself is rather slippery and waxy, so I find that a lot of pens smudge on it easily, and it's very slippery to write on, and I do find the writing experience to be very important when it comes to sticky notes. So yeah, I think it's fun to have as a accessory, but if you are expecting it to be like a super functional item, in my opinion, it doesn't really fulfill that role. Okay, this was a really fun spread. My internet best friend, Lauren, She sent me a birthday gift, and let me grab it. It is a set of handmade watercolors, and the brand is Beam Paints. I believe they're pretty well known, and they are indigenous owned, which is awesome. And I don't know if it's because they saw the birthday note, but they also included a little sample card. I haven't swatched this one yet, but I will do at some point. But yeah, using these beautiful colors, I first painted some tulips just to kind of test them out. And then because this is like a Frida theme, I decided to do some Mexican inspired patterns on Thursday. I did this freehand, so it's a little bit wonky, and I don't know how closely it is inspired by Mexican patterns, so I don't know. I tried my best. And again, I was struggling for the past week or so, I didn't really answer a lot of the prompts. So on this day, I decided to just all in one go catch up on all of my missed prompts. There goes the mini fridge again. Okay, anyways, on this day, we had sushi. I always write thank you when I order food. And they wrote back a little heart and smiley face. All right, again, this is when the allergic reaction kind of became worse. And here I wrote perks of knowing two pharmacists, aka my sister and her husband. They're both pharmacists. I just like texted them, and both of them like independently recommended a list of things to take. So I just went to the pharmacy and got them. Unfortunately, they haven't really helped, so I can't really blame them though. It is a mystery. But anyways, on Saturday, I went on the hike. These are my All Trails stats. We had banh mi, and this was a fun little scrapbooky thing that I did. This is when the hives really started spreading and getting itchy. It's a very nasty imagery, but that is what I've been dealing with. So yeah, and due to just all of the issues, on this day, I decided to create like a brain dump of things that are currently stressing me out and mind map everything. It is rather personal and raw because I was just ranting without any filter. This is the center sentiment, and then I just drew arrows everywhere. Some of them I just wrote directly on the page. Some of them I ripped up pieces of paper and kind of sectioned it off. And then for some of the stressors, I had sub arrows because like my thoughts were just like racing all over the place. So yeah, this might be useful for you. Tuesday, I tried to really get back on track. I went to a cafe to do some painting, and I had a really good day. I think you can really tell when I have a good day because my spread just like really looks neat and it reflects that, you know? But then on Wednesday, get me out of this timeline. So yes, my allergies were getting worse. As I said, my fridge stopped working. And oh yes, another issue. Canada Post just like randomly reset my password, and I was at the gym and I kind of had a freak out because I thought our account was compromised. I think our account is fine, but I just really did not need that on my plate on Wednesday. So then on Thursday, anything done is a win today. Big sigh because I woke up with an obvious spread of the rash. I did a section for positives and negatives. Bumps are spreading. I didn't feel like answering the prompt in the morning because my rash is the worst in the evenings and mornings. So I was really suffering, and I turned this around so that I can first write down my immediate thoughts in the morning. So here I had big sigh, and then this is even bigger sigh. And yeah, also for the past week, I've been sleeping on the couch because this is gonna sound really gross, but a part of me was like, what if I have bed bugs? I have manically checked everything, and my hives do not resemble bug bites at all. But a part of me is like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch just in case. So I'm also very sleep deprived. Okay, Saturday, I made my Hobonichi wish list for 2026. I plan on getting the Hobonichi Cousin, the Pour at Dawn Hobonichi Weeks, a 6-day free, and possibly a lined notebook. I'm still considering that. On this day, I did a live stream on YouTube painting some of the 2026 clip art. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. I think there's like a little bit of lag at the beginning where it takes a few seconds for you to actually go live. So I was just sitting there for like 30 seconds and I was like, oh no, am I gonna just be talking to myself? And then suddenly everyone flooded in and it was honestly a great time. It has been something that I really wanted to do, but I kept putting it off because I was really scared. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. Here I wrote, bumps are still bumping. Good for them. Bumps are turning into patches. On this day, I baked blueberry bars because I was just feeling really sad. And one way to make me happy is to bake things for people that I love. Unfortunately, I made 3 mistakes. I forgot to buy lemons. I accidentally used the topping for the crust and the crust for the topping. And then I also used the wrong size baking dish. Monday, I was in a silly, goofy mood, and I decided to mix my Coffee Monster ink with the Esterbrook Forgotten Iced Coffee ink to get this caramel color. And because it's like Robert Oster plus Esterbrook, I'm calling it Robrook, and it's called Forgotten Coffee Monster. I actually really like this color. I received the remaining washi tape, so I did some more swatches. Patchy bumps are patching and bumping, and I was really proud because I had to drive somewhere and I parked between 2 cars for the first time twice on this day. Actually, it wasn't for the first time, but it was voluntarily my first time. Anyways, this was yesterday. This was really cool though. So my sister, for my birthday, she got me this car scent thingy, diffuser, from, what is this called? Diptyque? I'm not too familiar with this brand, but I believe it is a higher end fragrance brand. But anyways, the parcel came with a bunch of tissue papers and I thought the color palette was so pretty. So I ripped a bunch of pieces, did some layering, and then these florals were also cut with the tissue paper. And I used my Sakura jelly roll for the center and the little sparkles. And then this was the gift message. This is my nickname. And then, yes, I was screaming because, again, things were so overwhelming. I had my second appointment with my doctor, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way or discredit her or anything, but I just felt very unheard. Like I was very much suffering, and she didn't seem very concerned, which I suppose it's a good thing that whatever I'm dealing with isn't threatening or whatever. But yeah, I was like showing her pictures and listing how it has been getting worse and how none of the medication was working, and the response was okay, let's wait and see. And I felt like I didn't really have any support or like resolution, which is why I have been very frustrated. Also stayed the night at the office because we were rushing USA parcels for the tariff cutoff. So I have been going through it. And for the past week or so, I have been 90% sure I wouldn't go to the San Francisco pen show because I had no idea what the situation is with my allergies. But then after the call with my doctor yesterday, who didn't seem very concerned, I was like, you know what? I will just go, maybe only for the Saturday show instead of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just to take things slow. So I started, this Dutch store setup for the San Francisco trip. I haven't finished it yet though. And I cried this morning because I realized that there were some itchy patches on my face. I'm not going to rant on about it, but this is what I have been dealing with in August, my lovely birthday month. So because of everything that I shared, my Hobonichi Weeks has taken a nosedive because this is my health and fitness journal. As I said, I have not been exercising because I feel like the sun, like extreme heat and sweat, makes it worse. And again, early August, I injured my leg, so I was struggling with that already. I kind of got back into the groove of things here. I did a little cute critters theme. This is when we went on the hike. And then this was last week. Again, on Thursday, I stopped going to the gym, and because of that, I just kind of lost motivation. I stopped writing down my highlights. I stopped doing self-care. I didn't even make a grocery list because my fridge is broken and I didn't have a mini fridge at that time. It is currently Thursday and I have not planned anything. I do think I'm gonna try to turn this around a little bit. So obviously I am not exercising, but I think this might be a useful space to document my entire timeline with the allergies. This is a health and fitness journal after all, so I might as well do some journaling about my health in general. So again, I know this was not a positive video, and going back to the beginning, this is also why I might miss a few uploads here and there depending on what the heck my allergy situation is. I will definitely keep you updated, and I hope you take care of yourself. Thank you for watching, and again, take care. Bye.